Back to the Future aboard the Love Boat.
Who gets to do that? Gets to work as a kid, make a lot of money, work with your friends, and travel all over the world. It's like on a cruise ship.
What the youngest star of the popular 70s and 80s dramedy is up to now. Then a Melrose Place star flips out. We'll show you the custom home actress Josie Passett just put on the market. Plus,
Gary, you've heard of going for the gold. Yeah. You went for the green and gold.
Shamrocks, fairies, and felines. Our DIY guru goes green for St. Patrick's Day. Seattle Refined starts now. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Seattle Refined. I'm Gart Swanson at the Edgewater Hotel in downtown Seattle. You know, if you grew up in the 70s and 80s, then chances are you were a fan of the Love Boat. The exploits of the passengers and crew of the Pacific Princess ran for 9 seasons on ABC. And one of the show's most popular characters was the captain's daughter, Vicky Stubing, played by the adorable Jill Whelan.
How bad are you losing?
Well, actually, Mr. Bronson, I just beat him 4 in a row.
Jill Whelan rode the Love Boat until the end of the series in 1986. And as Como Seth Wayne discovered, she's still a big fan of cruising.
Love, exciting and new. Come aboard, we're expecting you.
Jill!
Seth, hey,
How are you? Oh, it's so good to see you.
It's good to see you. Welcome aboard the Ruby Princess.
Thank you so much. I want to see everything on board.
I want to show you. Let's
Okay,
go.
let's do it.
It floats back to you.
Little Vicky, Jill Whelan, now 51, she's married, still dabbles in acting, and holds a new title these days, the Celebration Ambassador to Princess Cruises. So who better to give us a tour of one of the Princess Love Boats coming to Seattle this year?
Welcome to the Love Boat Disco Deck Party!
No surprise, with so much to see and do, like eating some good food, catching an award-winning show, or having a cocktail by the pool, like the Isaac. 1 part white rum, some pomegranate and lime juice, give it a good shake, and of course, that signature move.
Well, the reason that Isaac does the point is when we were first filming the show, we had to do what's called the title shots, you know, where we stand there awkwardly for a few minutes while they put our name below.
I love it, yeah.
And when he was doing that, he said to our producer, "This feels really uncomfortable to me." And the producer said, "Just think about your first paycheck." And he went, "Ha ha!" And that's how the Isaac became
And the Isaac is born.
Yep, that was it.
I love that.
So see? Cheers to.
Cheers.
We learn something new every day,
Absolutely.
even aboard a Princess Cruise. I love treats.
But I had a surprise for Jill, with some old pictures dug deep into the Princess archives.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that is.
Do you remember
wow.
these?
Yes, I have that, I think. I have that. Now I know where I got it from. How cool is this?
I like you too.
Who gets to do that? Gets to work as a kid, make a lot of money, work with your friends, and travel all over the world. It's like
On a cruise ship.
unbelievably amazing.
Yeah.
These are awesome.
Jill's still a fan of the high seas.
I grew up doing it, so I can't say enough about how much I love it. But also to be able to have this sort of security blanket of knowing that, okay, I'm in a foreign country, but I know where my home base is and it's secure, and you know, there's all of that too, which I love.
What's this for?
It was an amazing experience to grow up on board ship like this. And I spent my childhood seeing the world.
One place you've never been.
If you can believe it, Alaska.
What?
I know. It really is my sort of bucket list destination that I've never been to.
So many people want to go. And
Yes.
Port of Seattle.
It's in your backyard. You don't even have to get on a plane.
No kidding. And you
Which
go
is
all
awesome.
the way up to Alaska from Seattle.
Yeah, it's awesome. I can't wait to go.
And you can hop on board the Love Boat too. Every weekend, the Ruby Princess and her sister, the Emerald Princess, leave out of Pier 91 through the end of September. So guard, we'll see you on board.
To learn more about Jill Whelan or watch that story again, log on to our website. And of course, Seattle has another big Love Boat connection. There's no doubt that Lauren Twees inspired an entire generation of cruise directors with her portrayal of Julie on the Love Boat. As it turns out, Twees lives right here in Western Washington, where she does occasional stage work. If you're listening to this, Lauren Twees, please drop us a line at Refined, because we want to talk to you. Another Seattle superstar is showing off her DIY side. Josie Passett of Melrose Place fame and her husband just listed this Ballard cottage that they bought and renovated. Our refined cameras were just there in November when Josie first showed us her latest project. What a difference a few months makes. The completely customized home is on the market for just under $800,000. You can find out more on our website. If you're jonesing for something sweet to go with your daily Java Jolt, one of Seattle's favorite donut joints is on the move. Chef Renee Erickson's shop, General Porpoise, is reportedly expanding to Pioneer Square next week. The donut and coffee shop already has locations on Capitol Hill and South Lake Union. Also reportedly on the move, Frankie and Joe's Ice Cream. The Capitol Hill shop, known for its fantastic vegan, gluten-free ice cream, has opened up a second location in Ballard. I've not tried this yet, but if you have, drop us a line and tell us what you think. If cars and comfort food are more your thing, then pump the brakes as you pass through Sodo. Refine's John Prentice takes us to a spot that gets a thumbs up from gearheads and foodies alike.
Welcome to the shop, a haven for car nuts and pub grub foodies in the heart of Sodo.
So is this a real place or am I dreaming? I mean, there's a Testarossa right there, an XKE right there, and have you seen the horns on that Cadillac?
Yeah, this is real. You're not dreaming.
Wow!
Matt Bell is the mastermind behind this all-inclusive dream garage, a place for car guys and girls to store, fix, and enjoy their favorite machines.
If you're a non-member, you can just come and enjoy great food in the restaurant and look at really cool cars and meet other car people. But if you're a member, you can have full access to the member lounge. You can put your car in a lift and work on it, and you can either pay somebody to help you do it or teach you how to do it, or they can do all the work for you. And then, of course, we have car storage here, so that if you have a condo downtown or a 2-car garage with a 3-car collection or more, we can accommodate that here too.
Another great feature, an indoor wash area.
So all year round, you can come in and wash your car and enjoy our facilities.
Now, I don't know about you, but working on cars makes me hungry. Don't worry, Seattle restaurateur Ethan Stoll's got you covered.
We are currently in the middle of Derby Restaurant.
Derby is a bar within the shop. Ethan says they serve next-level pub fare, chicken wings, burgers, and take a look at this slab of bacon. Now that's a BLT.
We definitely would like to have anybody feel welcome here. We didn't want it to be too guy-centered and too dude-focused. After work, for lunch, come down here for some happy hour, it's awesome.
So there's Aston Martins and Porsches and Ferraris out there. You want me to check out this bookcase? What's so special about this?
Yeah, I mean, well, besides all the reading material we have, you can push on it and it...
Open it up and it reveals a hidden poker room. Pretty swanky.
So is this just for rich guys?
No, this club is for everyone. We have everything from Volkswagens to Ferraris, but it's really a place where everyone can come together. We have an initiation fee of $500, which we're running a special of half off, and only $150 a month.
Monthly parking is extra, but the views are free. John Prentice, Seattle Refined.
To learn more about Derby or to watch that story again, log on to our website. Seattle Refined is just getting started. If it's 3 p.m., it must be wine time. We get a lesson in how Washington became one of the nation's top wine meccas. But first,
fairy gardens are hot.
Fine, we believe you. Our DIY guru shows us how to turn a broken pot into a fairy wonderland for your garden. Welcome back to the show. I'm Guard Swanson. Well, you know spring has sprung here in the Northwest, and one of my favorite springtime activities is working out in the yard. You get all sweaty, you get all dirty, and thanks to our sponsor, Seattle Goodwill, I have some new budget-friendly ideas for sprucing up the garden. Here's Refine's Malia Karlinski.
Whether you're planning a St. Patrick's Day party or want to add a touch of whimsy to your front porch, Seattle Goodwill's DIY guy Gary Foy has some sweet budget-friendly ideas.
Gary, it feels like spring in here.
It does. I brought it inside.
You literally did. What is this?
This is a desk, sanded down, and now it's a raised bed for great apartment living or outside on your porch.
What do you have going over here?
So I like to use exterior paint when I'm doing anything for the outside.
Okay.
So I had some extra terracotta pots, painted those, and then this is great for an entryway. Hello and welcome.
That is so cute. And moving on here, I mean, Are these actually meant for office supplies, or?
I think that they are. Every time I see these guys, I always think I want to bring them outside because they have holes in them and they're metal. Now you can spray paint them, but all you'd have to do is you can pour water and it'll drain right through.
Okay, this looks fun.
You know, it's more of that distressed, patinaed kind of look, and we sell them for really great prices. You want to stretch your dollar? Come on down to the Goodwill.
Gary, I've heard of going for the gold, but you went for the green and gold.
I did go for the green and gold.
And then it's just nice, I guess, to kind of put some festive touches like these shamrocks. Are these available at Goodwill?
They are actually. Hats are available, little signs.
Okay, Gary, I'm feeling it. A St. Patrick's Day craft coming on, and that's no blarney.
Ah, no blarney.
What are we making here today? What are these guys?
These are the infamous pots of gold.
What do we need to make these guys?
Terracotta pots, spray paint, Mod Podge, and glitter, and then Rolos.
Rolos. You got to have the Rolos.
You got to have the Rolos. All right, so what you want to do is print out a shamrock, just cut it out, and then you want to just adhese it to the pot itself.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, once it's on there, we're just going to hit it with some spray paint.
So they're done.
They're done. Now you have to do is just peel the little guy off there, a little shamrock. Okay. All right, Malia, got to kick out the infamous Mod Podge. Real easy to do. All right, I got yourself a little brush here.
Okay.
And then we're just going to fill in the shamrock with some Mod Podge.
Okay. I'm fully podged here.
All right, we're gonna wrap this up. Just get the glitter on there, easy peasy, and then you're gonna put in the Rolos. All right, here we go. And then all of a sudden, here comes the gold.
Yay!
Whether you believe in leprechauns or fairies, it's easy to make darling DIY homes for your favorite mythical creatures.
You have those pots outside, right? And sometimes throughout the season they get broken or chipped. Don't throw them out.
Okay.
We're gonna repurpose them and make something fun like the fairy pot, so it'll be good. All right, so what you're gonna need is definitely some pots. We got a hammer, screwdriver, and a Sharpie to make the base.
Okay.
So let's get started. So the reason why I'm putting the Sharpie there is I'm gonna have to have a line to kind of follow for my hammer.
Okay.
And give it a good
whack.
Give it a good whack.
Okay.
You can hit my thumb, it's okay. Don't worry about my thumb.
Perfect.
All right, so what we want to do, I like to create little steps within my imaginary fairy landscape.
Right.
I'm going to start pushing down on the dirt as well, and then you just want to start building your second layer. All right, Malia, now you want to do is pick your characters and their scenes. So let's pick. I got a bunch of stuff here.
I'm going to go Kitty, I think. Oh, yeah. Okay, Gary, we got it done. I want to hear all about your fairy pot.
My fairy pot, it went a couple different turns and ways, but you know what? There's a lot of space still, and there's room for rent. What do you got going on?
Well, I kind of went with a cat theme. This is where the cats hang out on the catios.
It's a catio! Yeah. It looks great. Good job. High five.
Thank you.
You nailed it.
Malia Karlinski, Seattle Refined.
To learn more about Malia's DIY adventures, and there are a lot of them, log on to our website. Coming up on Refined, a cocktail party with a terrarium twist. Plus, why life is a Cabernet for Washington grape growers. Welcome back to Refined. I'm Gerd Swanson. Well, if you like to go home after work and relax with a nice glass of wine, you're not alone. In fact, get this, March is Taste Washington Wine Month. But why are Washington wines so good? Washington Grown's Chrissy Goranson went in search of answers.
Today I'm in Prosser at the Walter Clore Wine and Culinary Center. I'm meeting with Melissa Hansen, the research program manager for the Washington State Wine Commission, an organization that represents all wine grape growers and each licensed winery in the state. Over a glass of wine, we're talking about the history of Washington wine growers and why Washington produces some of the best wine in the world.
Well, let's kind of go back in history a little bit and tell me about how Washington's wine industry got started here.
The wine industry is actually closely linked to Concord grapes.
Okay.
Back in the early 1900s, there were little pockets of grapes, all types of grapes grown in the state. There was a very small, but it was growing, but a very small little industry because you can make wine out of any fruit, obviously.
Yeah.
So it was a little different style of wine than what we drink today. Very sweet wine.
Out of the Concord grapes.
Out of the Concord grapes. And they just blended all the grapes. And things were starting to grow, and then came Prohibition. 1919. Woo! Put the brakes on.
Yeah. Melissa explains that when Prohibition started, it actually created a boom for Concord grapes in Washington because homeowners were allowed to make up to 200 gallons of wine in their home without a permit. With that allowance, there was a sudden demand for grapes across the country.
So
Prohibition lifted, and yes, wineries sprang back to life. And there were about 42 right about the time when Prohibition lifted. At that same time, though, Dr. Walter Clore, who the center is named after, came to WSU as a horticulturalist, and he saw potential in our state as a premium wine producer. So he was sort of our little Johnny Appleseed, and he went throughout the state and planted, worked with growers, and planted a few trials, a few grapes here and there, and planted Vitis vinifera, the European grapes.
Research is a cornerstone of our Washington wine industry. Because of Walter Clore's research and vision, Washington is now the second largest producing wine region in the nation, with more than 900 wineries and 50 to 65,000 acres of grapes.
What's some of the research that's going on right now that you could talk about for the wine industry?
Oh, we have, like I mentioned, there's about $1 million of projects. Everything from how to fine-tune the irrigation for white varieties. We know how to do it with red. We focus now on the white. Vineyard mechanization, obviously labor is becoming a big issue. So we're making sure that if you use mechanical thinners and mechanical pruners, that it doesn't negatively impact the quality. All of the research that we do has an overriding goal to improve wine quality.
Melissa says both the Wine Commission and the industry itself facilitates and directly supports the wine research being done, which is another unique trait about Washington wine.
I think we should toast to Dr. Clore, right?
To Dr. Clore.
And Washington wines.
And Washington wines.
Look for more stories like that one from our friends at Washington Grown every week right here on Refined. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. I know I keep harping on it, but I am so excited for spring. There's just so much to do. And if you need 10 ideas to kickstart your spring, log on to SeattleRefined.com. Contributor Rebecca Mongrain has your season to-do list, everything from tulips to the Mariners to the Washington State Fair and more. Spring is a great time to get outside, but here on Refined, we're always looking for fun new things to do indoors too. Malia Karlinski discovered a new twist on happy hour that will give your green thumb a workout too.
It's happy hour, time to grab a drink and gab with friends. But mingling can need awkward silences for some people and conversations that fall as flat as day-old champagne.
I think that one of the things that we're lacking in our society today of our phones and social media is more community and face-to-face time.
So Stephanie Wang decided to do something about it, creating a cocktail of happy hour drinks served with an activity. People are really digging her latest idea. It turns a Seattle yoga studio / spa into something else entirely.
So we're at Urban Yoga Spa, and yet you are doing terrarium building happy hours here. How'd you get that idea?
Well, we started out just, I love plants. So that's where it sort of started.
Happy hour patrons are drawn to the chance to actually create something in addition to sipping a drink.
I think it's cool. I think it's something different. Gives people something to do while they're, trying to get to know each other a little better.
Did you think happy hour could get any better?
No, I did not.
And does building terrariums make it better?
Definitely.
This is a blackberry tincture.
People order a beverage, then get a primer on putting together a plant terrarium. This event featured the carnivorous kind.
So we have butterworts, which is a carnivorous succulent. And then these are sundews.
And that eats little insects, isn't that correct?
Yeah, if it flies, it dies.
Interesting containers, colored sand, and fun accessories let people personalize their projects.
I think having a little alcohol loosens people up.
The process of assembling the terrariums makes for easy conversation. Even if you don't know anyone, you can create some connections.
I just came by myself, and then at the end, by the time I got done, I had met a couple people that were making these with me. I wasn't sure what to expect because I don't garden, and I just thought it was a weird combination, but I love it.
Happy hours themselves are nice, where you get to interact with people and meet people. Sure, some bubbles or something like that. But when you also get to paint or make a terrarium or bath salts or something like that, to be able to take something home along with those memories.
Malia Karlinski, Seattle Refined.
To learn more about that story or watch it again, log on to our website. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. I'm Gard Swanson. Thank you so much for joining us here on Seattle Refined. We'll see you next time.